Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits. In the recent times I have made a video on the 2025 annual predictions for all ascendant and moon signs. I have made a number of videos on Jupiter's transit and Venus's transit and the exchange or the Parivartana Yoga that is happening between these two planets. Today this video is about Mercury's transit in the sign of Aquarius that is happening on 11th of February, and Mercury is going to stay in the sign of Aquarius till the end of February. Now this is an important transit because during this time Mercury is going to be coming in contact with two planets, Sun and Saturn. So we will have a 3-planetary conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. So I could very confidently say that wherever the sign of Leo and Aquarius falls in your chart, this axis, whichever houses, see these two houses are opposite to each other. So wherever this axis of Leo and Aquarius falls in your chart is going to be absolutely active for the next few weeks because there's a 3-planetary conjunction. So if you're running through Dasha Antardasha of Mercury, Saturn, Sun, or if you have prominent planets in the sign of Leo in the sign of Aquarius, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. This conjunction also holds a significant importance because we'll be witnessing Mahashivratri in the month of February. Mahashivratri is celebrated when Sun and Moon are conjoined in the sign of Aquarius on Krishna Chaturdashi, which is the day before Amavasya or the no moon day, is when Mahashivratri is celebrated. Therefore, the sign of Aquarius has a very close significance to Lord Shiva, to Mahadev. Let's talk about Mercury here. Mercury is the fastest moving planet. He is the prince. And it is said that Mercury, when it is conjoined with other planets, it is always good because he is the one who gets influenced by these planets. So we'll have a 3-planetary conjunction where Mercury is going to be conjoined with Surya, Sun, with whom he shares friendly relationship, and Mercury is neutral towards Saturn, though Saturn shares a friendly relationship with Mercury, so it's not a bad relationship. It's in a very comfortable space with both these grahas, and Shani or Saturn rules the sign of Aquarius. So over the next few weeks, we could expect some prominent events related to leadership shifts, related to governments, forming of governments, mergers, acquisitions, some breakthrough development in space technology, new innovations. The whole communication technology is going to see a boost over the next few weeks. We could see some reforms in telecom companies. We could see mergers, acquisitions. We could see closure of prominent telecommunications companies. Mercury rules the sign of Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is its own sign, home space. Virgo is the Mool Trikon sign and also the sign of exaltation. So Mercury gets exalted in Virgo, and it is also its Mool Trikon sign or the office space. Mercury is the significator of the natural 10th house of the zodiac belt, which is the Karma Bhava. So Mercury loves to make money because 3, 6, 10 is where it feels very comfortable, and these are the Upachaya Bhavas. Natural 11th sign Aquarius is also the Upachaya Bhavas. These houses are the houses of growth. 3, 6, 10 and 11. And these houses also play a very important role in free will. So free will is seen from the 3rd, 6th, 10th and 11th houses. So as Mercury loves to make money, he is the significator of cash. So from a wealth point of view, cash is something which is ruled by Mercury. And for those who are multimillionaires, those who are very rich people, they usually have a prominent Mercury placed in their chart. They do have some connection that Mercury is making with some of the other prominent grahas, or Mercury is in favorable yogas in the chart. Mercury gets exalted in the sign of Virgo, it gets debilitated in the sign of Pisces. Mercury is the only planet that cancels its own debility. The very simple reason is the sign of Pisces is Kendra, quadrant from both Gemini and also Virgo. Therefore, it has a full capacity to cancel its own debility. I do not consider Mercury to be bad in Pisces in any manner. And this is also going to be the next transit where Mercury is spending considerable amount of time this year in the sign of Pisces, where it will come in contact with Venus, it will come in contact with Saturn, Sun, Rahu. Mercury also is going to be in deep combustion for a few days during its transit, but Mercury is very used to being combust because naturally it is the closest to the Sun, so it's in a very comfortable space, and I do not see any negative impact as far as combustion of Mercury is concerned. During this transit, Mercury will be aspecting the sign of Leo by its 7th aspect of desire. So Mercury desires management, Mercury desires leadership potential. This is the sign of progress. This is the sign of the government. This is the sign where the king sits. So Mercury desires a lot of communication between government and the public, technological advancement, development, for us to get technically upskilled. So it's a great time, it's an excellent time for upskilling, for reskilling in anything related to tech. And once again, wherever the sign of Aquarius and Leo falls in your chart is going to be absolutely active for the next few weeks. You have to pay a lot of attention to this axis because the ruler of Leo is conjoined Mercury, the ruler of Aquarius is conjoined Mercury, who himself is making a transit in the sign of Aquarius, and Mercury is known to deliver quick results because it is the fastest moving planet after the luminary moon. Now let's try and understand how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At a physical level, you must read this transit from your ascendant sign. At a mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Let us begin with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, Mercury is your third lord and the sixth lord, and it is going to be making a transit in your 11th house of gains or labor, your income, your outer world, network, the way you influence. We also see purpose of birth from the 11th house because this is the house of fulfillment. Mercury rules third house of efforts, valor, courage, sixth house of daily routine, debts, diseases, your health and well-being, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your job as well. So 3, 6, 11, these three are the houses of growth. Natural houses, and in your chart also it signifies growth. These houses also represent free will, and there will be a 3 planetary conjunction in your 11th house. So any planet making a transit in the 11th house generally delivers good results, and all these 3 planets will be aspecting your 5th house of future, creativity, children, unconditional love. So this is a time when this axis is going to be pretty much active because Sun, Saturn and Mercury are going to be conjoined in the 11th house. So most of the time planets deliver good results here. So your lot of efforts and daily routine has gone into the house of gains. So you would witness positive impact for the efforts that you're making. So any efforts that you make around this time, if it is linked to your growth, if it is linked to your professional success, gains at your workplace, this is positively a favorable time for you, and you must make use of these efforts. You have an exceptional opportunity to build your network, to influence other people, to influence people who have authority, and to also influence those who have the power of labor. So if you're working, you could influence your seniors, and you could also influence your peers and juniors as well during this time. So you need to make the most of this energy. Your 5 and 11 axis is going to be pretty active. Mercury desires you to learn for your future, to put your management capability for your future success, how you could be elevated, how you could get some growth from your workplace. And this is also the house of daily routine, your job. This is a time wherein you will see some new interesting projects coming in from a work point of view. You must chant mantras during this time, and it could be related to Surya. Worship Surya. This is what you need to strengthen in your chart. Use a simple Surya mantra, or you could use a Shiva mantra. One thing you must remember that over the next few weeks, you're likely to take some very important decisions that are pertaining to your future. So make sure that you think through, take calculative steps, and have a plan ready for you. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Taurus ascendants. What's happening with Taurus ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. That is a friendly sign for Mercury. Mercury is your second and the fifth lord. So it plays a very important role in wealth related matters, family, your finances, because we see finances from both second as well as fifth house. Fifth house is the house of future, unconditional love, your children. So all family matters, Mercury plays a very important role. Your future, your progress, what you consume, what you eat, things that you store, and this Mercury is making a transit in your 10th house of karma, your profession, actions, job, work, businesses, anything that you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world is seen by the 10th house. So this Mercury is definitely forming a yoga in place. This is a Dhan yoga at work. This is also a progressive yoga from a future point of view, and Mercury is the primary significator of the 10th house. So in case you're expecting an increase in your finances from a work point of view, the next couple of transits of Mercury are favorable for you. It is creating favorable circumstances to either get a secondary source of income or to have a rise in your income or get incentivized. So this is something which you can try for. There could be workplace related change. See, understand, this Mercury is aspecting your 4th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Mercury is the significator of management. It represents communication. So it wants a lot of communication at your home, within the house, and those people who are at your workplace, because this also represents your workplace situation or the environment. You need to communicate, you need to demonstrate your management capabilities at workplace. In case you're trying to build management skills, this could be an excellent time for you. Mercury is conjoined with your 4th Lord Sun and your 10th Lord Saturn. So it is bringing discipline at work. It is also bringing the potential of leadership, because when Sun will also be making a transit in your 10th house where it gains directional strength, and there's a nice Buddha Aditya Yoga that is formed in your 10th house. So in case you pick up a course and specifically it is related to management, leadership, communication, this will be very good for you, and this is something which you must do over the next few weeks, and do it consciously. Put some genuine efforts into it and you will grow from a work point of view, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Gemini ascendant and what's happening with Gemini ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius, which falls in your 9th house of Dharma, Bhagya, fortune, father figure, long journeys, spiritual journeys. It represents higher spiritual knowledge. Mercury is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. It is also your 4th Lord, so it represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity. It is also your 4th Lord of Mother, your home, comfort space where you feel most safe, where you feel most secure, things that make you feel happy, things that make you feel content. Mercury plays a very important role for you, and its transit matters. And this transit is happening in your 9th house of Bhagya. Mercury is definitely forming a yoga in place for the next few weeks, and this is the time when you need to immerse yourself in dharma, in dharmic activities. Be the champion of your dharma, be the protector of your dharma. Your 3 and 9 axis is pretty active, which represents starting of a journey. So it's an excellent time to start new projects, new ventures. Journey doesn't necessarily mean that you will travel, but yes, if you have a spiritual trip that is planned, a retreat, this could bring some favor to you. This could bring some renewed energies, because this Mercury is aspecting your 3rd house by the 7th aspect of desire. So it desires you to take up journeys. It also desires you to deal with change, because we see change from the 3rd house, to leverage your communication in order to cope up with this change, because the power of listening is something which you must leverage. You listen to others who will help you change, who will help you in this transformation journey. Mercury is conjoined with your 3rd Lord Sun, that represents valor in your chart, and your 9th Lord Saturn, that represents Bhagya in your chart. So valor and fortune coming together, this means that any efforts that you take towards your education, towards your upskilling, you will see results, and your Bhagya will be supported around this time. You must use remedies related to Mercury, worship Lord Vishnu, or use a simple Vishnu mantra, that is Om Vishnave Nama, during this time, and you will be blessed by this transit, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Cancer ascendant and what's happening with Cancer ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. It's a short transit, less than a month long. This is the usual transit of Mercury. Mercury for you is your 3rd Lord and your 12th Lord. So it rules valor, communication, which we see from the 3rd house, co-bonds or your siblings. Any change is seen from the 3rd house. We also see growth, because this is the Upachaya house. And your 12th Lord of losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, your ability to be more self-aware. This Mercury is making a transit in your 8th house of transformation, suddenness in life, sudden ups and downs, sudden changes, longevity, places that are far off across the sea. Other cultures are also seen from the 8th house. This is a natural Viparita Yoga in transit that Mercury is making for you. Situation would at times go adverse. Eventually you will rise. Transformation for Cancer ascendants is inevitable over the next few weeks, because your 8th house will have a 3 planetary conjunction. There will be Mercury, there will be Sun, who is your 2nd Lord, and there will be 8th Lord Saturn. So transformation, important decisions pertaining to your finances, pertaining to your family, who will be equally involved in this transformation journey. So you must take some important decisions which are related to your savings. Make sure that you save enough during this time. Mercury is aspecting your second house by its seventh aspect of desire. So it wants to improve your communication at home and build cordial relationships. See, your speech will have some conflicting issues here. At times you could be authoritative, at times you might sound cold, at times you will be very communicative. So make sure that you listen to others, make sure that you don't interrupt others, make sure that you demonstrate respect in your communication and empathy. This will help you to build cordial relationship and also manage your levels of stress, because when your 8th Lord Saturn is involved, there is a double Viparita yoga that is going on around this time. Eventually you will rise. It's a very positive transformation that you're going to have in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which will help you gain leadership potential, which will help you bring in discipline and the power of communication in your speech, and also the ability to deal with finances or manage your own finances. And I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Leo Ascendant and what's happening with Leo Ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. Mercury for you is your second lord and the 11th lord. So without a doubt, from a financial point of view, all money related matters, wealth related matters, Mercury plays a very important role because it's your second lord of dhan, wealth, your family, your speech, what you consume, what you eat, what you store, your storage space, 11th lord of income, aya, your material gains, material comfort, your purpose of birth, your friends, bigger enemies as well, higher opposition is also seen from the 11th house because this is 6th from your 6th house, and it plays a very important role in all growth related matters. This Mercury is making a transit in your 7th house. So this could be a very good time for transformation related to your spouse, to your partner. So in case if they have any gains that are upcoming, that could be favorable. Mercury's position in the 7th house is not the most comfortable, but remember that this Mercury is conjoined your 7th lord Saturn, who gains directional strength in the 7th house, and it will also be conjoined with Sun, who is your Lagna lord. Sun is supposed to be weak in this house, but if your partner has some learning opportunities, some growth opportunities, or some wealth creating opportunities, it could be a favorable time for you. These 3 planets are aspecting your Lagna. So firstly, if I talk about Mercury, Mercury's 7th aspect on your ascendant is the desire to bring in the power of communication and management and help you make some quick decisions. So you need to look at some quick wins over the next few weeks. Any small projects, even in your personal life, any quick fixes that you can make, you need to put your logical thinking, your leadership capacity, and your hard-working attitude in order to make these quick wins. At workplace, you can shine if you make or deliver some quick results or take care of some projects in a very limited time frame. So these are how you need to channelize these energies around this time. From a spiritual point of view, this is a very good time. During this time, you are likely to adopt meditation, sadhana, yoga, or similar practices that could bring in a lot of peace of mind. Your partner or spouse is going to play an important role in helping you navigate through these times. In case you're looking forward to having a partner or a relationship or a potential match for getting married, this could be a favorable time. In case your Dasha Antardasha is being supported, worship Lord Vishnu, use a simple Vishnu mantra to sail through this time and to minimize any ill effects of this transit, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Virgo Ascendant and what's happening with Virgo Ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. For you, Mercury is an important planet because it's your Lagna Lord, the Lord of the Ascendant, the ruler of yourself, your body, your vitality, immunity, who you are, your intelligence, your power of dhi, okay, which is also your buddhi, and your 10th lord of karma, actions in the society, your work, your profession, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. This Mercury is now going to be making a transit in your 6th house in the sign of Aquarius. Natural 6th house is the sign of exaltation of Mercury. So from a comfort point of view, it is fairly a comfortable position or a placement for Mercury. It is also in a neutral sign of Aquarius, and Saturn considers Mercury as his friend, and Saturn is also conjoined with Mercury around this time. So there is definitely a job change that could be possible on the cards. In case you're looking for a new job, new opportunity, this could be a favorable time, and this time period could help you get some results in a quick succession. So quick results is something which Mercury is known for. So you need to make some quick fixes in your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you need a routine. Maybe you need to start rising early. So this Mercury is aspecting your 12th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So it desires you to be spiritually uplifted. It desires you to follow certain dharma, certain spiritual practices. It desires you to donate. See, Mercury is a very selfish planet. So the only way to counter Mercury is to donate to others. This is how you counter greed, because Mercury naturally has greed. It wants a lot more. It wants a lot more money. And with money comes more greed. So donate even little that you can to the best of your capacity. It could be good for you. This Mercury is going to be conjoined your 12th Lord Sun and your 6th Lord Saturn. So definitely there needs to be communication. There needs to be a certain sense of authority and discipline in your daily routine. And you have to keep the ego aside, because you will develop intelligence around this time which could bring a sense of ego. And when ego gets into our head, we make some very bad decisions. So stay grounded. This is a golden tip for you. The more grounded you are, the better you will be able to channelize the energies of Mercury, and your daily routine will be absolutely comfortable, and you will get a good job as well in case your Dasha Antardasha is being supported. And I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Libra Ascendant and what's happening with Libra Ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. For you, Mercury is your 9th Lord and the 12th Lord. The Lord of Bhagya, fortune, father figure. Your lineage is seen from the 9th house. Dharma, your religion is seen from the 9th house. Long journeys, higher spiritual knowledge and higher education is also seen from the 9th house. Higher education is also seen from the 12th house because it represents higher self-consciousness and your unlimited potential. We also see expenses, losses, all kinds of expenditure is seen from the 12th house. Bed comforts or sleep is also seen from the 12th house or its Lord. This Mercury is making a transit in your 5th house of mantras, children, love, your future, progress. We also see corruption from the 5th house. So your 5-11 axis is going to be pretty active during this time. So your Bhagyesha making a transit to the 5th house is quite positive because fortune favors you for future related decisions and decisions pertaining towards your friends or your relationship with your friends, relationship with your partner, your spouse, your children. So all of that will be priority. So you will have a lot of people priorities around this time. You will navigate multiple relationships and you're likely to demonstrate different behaviors or deal with different behaviors. Stay grounded, stay humble, because this time period can bring some sense of ego because you will gain knowledge. You will have a 3 planetary conjunction in your 5th house. Sun with the power of authority, ego, Mercury the power of communication, and Saturn the power of labor or discipline. And if you stay grounded, you will not be corrupted as far as your mind is concerned, and it will help you make some good decisions and also build cordial relationships with people. Mercury is aspecting your 11th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So Mercury desires you to improve your communication with your friends, to leverage your communication to influence other people, influence people with authority, and influence some very high power or high profile people. So you are likely to build relationship, you're likely to come across with some very influential people in case your Dasha Antardasha is being supported. Over the next couple of months, I do expect significant growth, but this growth will come with certain challenges that you have to overcome. And one such challenge is that your own behavior is something which you need to overcome, which you need to take good control of. And if you do that, mantras are going to be absolutely wonderful for you. So any mantras that you use over the next couple of months, you could have some very good results. It could be a Lakshmi mantra or a Vishnu mantra or even a Shiva mantra, or you could use Bija mantra of Buddha himself, Mercury, and you will be blessed, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Scorpio ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio ascendants as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. For you, Mercury is your 8th Lord and the 11th Lord. 8th Lord of longevity, transformation, sudden ups and downs. Suddenness is seen from the 8th house. Places that are across the seas. 11th Lord of gains, your wider social network, your friends. And we also see fulfillment of life from the 11th house. We see bigger enemies from the 11th house. Mercury is not the most ideal or the benefic graha for Scorpio ascendants, and this Mercury is making a transit in the 4th house. In the 4th house, Mercury is said to be attaining Maran Karaka, or it is death-like position. Therefore, it is losing its significance. It has gone weak. If any negative results, that is going to go down. So that's good news. But on contrary, you could struggle in matters pertaining to communication, matters pertaining to management. So your management, and especially management related to house, your home, that is something which would need a lot of focus. You will have 3 planetary conjunction in your 4th house, including your 4th lord Saturn, Mercury, who is your 8th lord and the 11th lord, and your 10th lord Sun is also going to make a move in your 4th house, where of course it is losing its direction, but forming a Buddha Aditya Yoga along with Mercury. So this time period needs a lot of decluttering in life. So give away those things that you don't need. So you could look at cleaning up your house, you could look at decluttering your house, and there is some karma related to plants. So bring in new plants and put them either in the balcony, garden, or indoors as well. This could be a very good remedy for you to channelize the energies of Mercury. This Mercury is aspecting your 10th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So Mercury desires you to leverage the power of communication at your workplace. Make your presence felt. So you need to work a lot on your personal branding, and the point is that you will have to put in a lot more hard work when it comes to building your leadership skills and enhancing your communication. You will have to put in maybe more efforts than usually it is required. You could have some conflicting situation at the workplace that you would need to deal with. There is also relationship karma which you will have to deal with around this time. So make sure that you watch your temperament and avoid any conflicting situations, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Sagittarius ascendant. What's happening with Sagittarius as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius, where it will be conjoined with Sun and Saturn. For you, Mercury is your 7th lord and the 10th lord. So Mercury also becomes Badakesh, or lord of obstacles for Sagittarius, because 7th house is the Badak Sthan. On the other side, it rules 2 Kendra houses, 7th and the 10th house. So it rules your relationship, those people who are opposite to you. 7th house is called the Jaya Bhava, which represents peace and also war. Mercury also rules your 10th house of profession, your actions in the society, your work, your job, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in the world. Therefore, it plays a very important role in spite of being Badakesh. We cannot deny that fact. And this Mercury is making a transit in the 3rd house of communication, 3rd house of growth, your younger siblings, valor. So some of the significations Mercury very closely relate to it. Mercury is also the natural ruler of the 3rd house. Mercury is very good when it comes to free will, because Mercury likes to do things on its own, but it makes wrong, terrible decisions. Therefore, it needs some guidance, it needs some help, and this time it is getting guidance and help from Sun and Saturn. So it is under the influence of Sun and Saturn around this time. Saturn is your 3rd lord and Sun is your 9th lord. So your 3 and 9 axis is pretty active. Mercury is aspecting your 9th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So one thing is quite prominent, that you must get a Guru Upadesha. You must get blessings of your mentor, your teacher, Guru, some guidance. Any such message or teaching will never harm you, will help you make some very good decisions. If you're looking for any travel related opportunities, or if you're planning to go on a spiritual retreat, this could be a favorable time for you. Mercury's aspect on the 9th house, power of communication, is coming in your higher learning. So leverage your communication to learn. And this is something which is a self-driven learning. So you need not wait for opportunities or someone, taking through a formal course. It is more of self-paced learning. You could learn on the job, you could go online, you could take up a course. So do a lot of self-initiatives when it comes to higher learning, and you could be benefited. There is a 3 planetary conjunction in the 3rd house, which has 3rd lord Saturn, 9th lord Surya, and both Surya and Mercury are making a Buddha Aditya Yoga. So anything that you learn for communication, it is quite favorable for you. The other remedy for you would be to write, use your hands, because we see hands from the 3rd house. So journal about communication, about leadership, about bringing a sense of discipline and consistency. And this is what Sun demands, consistency, and Saturn demands discipline. So bring that in your daily life through journaling, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Capricorn ascendant and what's happening with Capricorn as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius. For you, Mercury is your 6th lord and the 9th lord. So Mercury is a good planet, it's a benefic planet for you because it's your Bhagyesha, it rules your 9th house of fortune, dharma. your father figure, long journeys, your guru, your mentor, your religion, your lineage. It is also your sixth lord of daily routines, of deaths, diseases, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your competition, opposition. If you also see job from the sixth house, we also see intelligence and growth from the sixth house. And this Mercury is making it in the second house of wealth, your family, your speech, consumption, things that you store. Ninth lord going in the second house is a Dhan Yoga in transit. So there is definitely wealth yoga. In case you're looking forward to having an incentive or a secondary source of income, fortune will favor you. From a job point of view, if you are looking forward to getting incentivized or an increment, or you could have a change of job in the next 2 to 3 months, which could give you a rise in your income, but that will depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha. So if you have any of these pursuits, you must try for it around this time. You're likely to undergo some transformation with regards to your eating habits, because you would like to experiment with things. So make sure that you take care of your stomach, because you could develop some issues related to food or what you consume. Your 2 and 8 axis is pretty active. Mercury will be aspecting your 8th house by its 7th aspect of desire. And Mercury desires you to leverage your communication in your transformational journey. So you communicate, you listen to other people to learn how to adapt to this changing situation which you might be going through, and this could help you. Maybe someone who is senior, someone who is very learned, because Mercury will be conjoined Sun and Saturn. Saturn is your second lord and Sun is your 8th lord. So one who rules wealth in your chart and the other who rules transformation. So transformation is absolutely inevitable. Make sure that you take care of your family. You have some financial karma, so protect your finances. Make sure that if you're taking some important decisions related to your long-term savings investment, you take a necessary consultation. Take an expert advice if you were to deal with matters pertaining to money, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Aquarius ascendant. What's happening with Aquarius as Mercury enters your Lagna, your ascendant in the sign of Aquarius. For Aquarius, Mercury is the 5th lord and the 8th lord. It plays a very important role. It is a Karak Graha, it is a favorable planet because it's your 5th lord, and I always say that 5th lord is one of the most important planets for any ascendant because it rules your future, it rules progress, children, the upcoming generations. That is what it rules. Prarabdha, your deeds from the past and how it will manifest for your present and also for your future. We see positional success from the 5th house. We see mantras and whether mantra based remedies will work for you or not. Mercury also rules your 8th house of longevity, of life and death, of suddenness in life, sudden changes, sudden transformation, secret places or your secret desires. This Mercury is making a transit in the 1st house. Your 5th lord coming in the 1st house is definitely a Raj Yoga. Your 8th lord coming in the 1st house is a sign of transformation, transformation of your body, your vitality, your immunity, and something that you would do over the next few weeks that will help you, and of course support in your transformation journey if it is related to your body, if it is related to your vitality. This Mercury is aspecting your 7th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So a lot of communication that is coming in your relationship, your management of relationship is going to change for good. You're going to be very conscious of some of the decisions that you take, what you say, when you say. You're going to be very selective to deal with other people, which is good. See, there are 3 planets that are coming in your ascendant, forming a 3 planetary yoga. There is Sun, who is your 7th lord, Mercury, who is your 5th lord, and Saturn, who is your Lagnesha. So there is a power of sense of authority, ego is there, a sense of communication, management, and also discipline. So make sure that you stay grounded. You use these powers to elevate your personality, to evolve and become a strong person, mentally as well as physically. But keep the ego aside. This is something that you must learn around this time. Any mantras that you use will be absolutely beneficial for you. Best is to use a Vishnu mantra, worship Lord Vishnu, chant a simple mantra, and this could be Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please worship him and you will be blessed, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Pisces ascendant and what's happening with Pisces as Mercury goes in the sign of Aquarius for the next few weeks. Mercury is your 4th lord and the 7th lord. It is a Badak Graha because 7th house becomes the house of obstacles for you. fourth lord, and of course Mercury rules Kendra houses, so it plays a very important role as well because it rules your safe space. Fourth house, your mother, your home, your comforts, things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Also your seventh house of relationship, marriage. More from a relationship point of view, it rules agreements, contracts. It is the Jaya Bhava. It rules peace and also war. All those people who are opposite to you, your outer world of people, things and events are seen from the 7th house. And this Mercury is making a transit in your 12th house. Mercury naturally gets debilitated in the 12th house, but Mercury also has the power of cancelling its own debility. So your 7th lord and 4th lord making a transit in the 12th house is a sign of spiritual upliftment or increase of spiritual practices, some quick wins, some quick changes that you can bring in your spiritual discipline. This Mercury is going to be aspecting your 6th house. So firstly, your 4, 8 and 12 axis is pretty active around this time. So which is the Moksha Bhava. This will help you in any yoga practices, spiritual practices, meditation, sadhana, yoga. It will be very helpful. Mercury is aspecting your 6th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So it desires you to be more communicative in your daily life, especially job related matters. And through your communication, you need to develop and improve your self-awareness. So take help of other people, communicate with them to get some feedback. So you need to get as much feedback as you can around this time, and this will help you change and transform for good. There's a 3 planetary conjunction in your 12th house, which includes your 6th lord Sun, your 4th and the 7th lord Mercury, and your 12th lord Saturn. So there is a Viparita yoga that is happening in transit. Okay, your 6th lord goes into 12th house and your 12th lord in the 12th house. There are 2 Viparita yogas that are happening. There's a Buddha Aditya yoga. So spiritual knowledge is on the cards. You have to focus a lot on mindfulness. You have to donate around this time. Any donations you will make will be absolutely beneficial for you, and this is the only remedy that I could suggest. Please donate in the next few weeks to the best of your capacity, and I wish you the very best. So friends, this was about Mercury's transit in the sign of Aquarius, where it will come in contact with Sun and Saturn and have a 3 planetary conjunction or a yoga in the sign of Aquarius. I hope and believe Mercury's transit brings a sense of expansion in the matters pertaining to our life and fulfillment, and help us leverage the potential of our leadership capability, the power of discipline and communication to have gains in our life. And may Lord Shiva continue to bless us. Thank you very much. God bless you all. And may Lord Shiva continue to bless us. Thank you very much.